So hello, so here we are and greetings to the channel. Today is a close-up look at a typical Anglo-Saxon or Viking Seax or Sax, depending on how you pronounce it. Now, you could say that this is a Seax of Mercia because it has the boar emblem on this bone handle. And I'm sure you agree that is spectacular. It is a really quality piece of carving into it and has been darkened. But not just that, it also has a wing and dot pattern all the way around, and I'm sure you agree that is a lovely little bit of kit. I love this Seax. It is one of my most favourite Seax I own, and this used to belong to the late and great Thorolf, along with this langseax, which we'll talk about and compare it to in a minute. So this Seax or Sax, there's no correct way of pronouncing it. Sax is more Viking and Seax is more Anglo-Saxon. So this knife, this Seax, used to belong to my great and late friend Thorolf, who was a fantastic cook and a really good dear friend of mine who I miss loads, who died of COVID during the pandemic. Rest in peace to my friend Thorolf. Some of you may know him on the channel as Seaxes, and many years ago, when I first started reenacting in 1999 as a Viking, even though I've already been reenacting for 6 years at that point, I joined the local Viking group to me, and I met Thorolf, and over the next 2 or 3 years he sold me some bits of kit which he had excess of, because he was getting out of the hobby to a certain degree, and he wanted the kit to go to somewhere that, and to somebody that would love the kit. We call it kit, it's a generic term from the modern age. So this is the knife, one of the knives he sold me. I think I paid like £20 for it, and it comes in a little scabbard or sheath. I would say this is a scabbard because it's rigid. Sheath are normally more loose, but because of this copper element to it to keep it rigid and stop it from bending, it is more of a cross between a sheath and a scabbard. Technically, yes, it is a sheath, and it hangs off your belt as well. And we'll talk about the sheath, the scabbard, equally in turn as we talk about the knife. Now, this knife has had a lot of use over the years. It is a sharp one. It is used for cooking and for eating and for everyday use on camp. In fact, you can see the black marks there are from where I've been taking the bark off wood. Let's just get rid of them. So it's a fantastic bit of kit. I love it to bits. It could be improved by having a copper plate on the back and on the front. And I don't want to take the handle off. The handle is made from a bone of a cow. It's a leg, a cow leg. And it fits really lovely in your hand, which is so important when it comes to your handles, that they fit lovely. But I could make a copper or brass or even silver mount at the back with 2 fine little nails and nail it in and make it meet the profile. And I think one day I will do that, because I think it will add that little bit of a touch to it, and perhaps decorate it with some type of Viking or Anglo-Saxon stamping, or even basic wing and dot. We can see on this one there's wing and dot as well. This again is another handle from a bone. It's probably another leg bone, or maybe a some it's a part of the car. I believe this is car, and I think it's a leg bone. Probably a bit thinner and been worked compared to this one here, which probably hasn't been worked so much, but it's got a nice polish. You can tell it's had lots of use. Now, the reason why I have a langseax on the table is to talk about the history of this knife. This knife used to be a langseax, very much like this one here, which you'll see on camera. And at some point in the history of the langseax, it snapped and broke in half. It was probably originally a combat langseax or long knife. Lang is for long, seax or sax is for knife, or langseax or langsax in the Viking tongue. So there you are. Your favourite langseax has broken, probably at the end, or maybe it's broken halfway down the blade. Well, Thorolf had the clever idea of having it converted. Now, I'm assuming that this part of the langseax is this part here, and it's been chopped off. They kept the original tang, maybe made it shorter, and then put an angle on the blade and made it into a sharp knife. And then Thorwald's very good friend, who I can't remember his name, I think his name's Andy, did the decoration and put the handle on. And he also made this sheath or scabbard. Now this sheath, unfortunately, is getting to the end of its life. It's got a tear in here. So there's a few options for me to do. I could take off this rivet and try to re-rivet it back on further along the level where I've got a tear. I've got a tear here, look, where it's just, with age, it's just come undone, as you can see. Or I could even make a new sheath for it. I'm not determined on the side of that, but I will keep it to the same style. Again, this is copper, probably from a copper pipe that's been flattened and then split and then has been worked to go around the edge. And the reason why you have this around the edge is to give this some protection. It makes it rigid, first of all, but also when you have your knife in, it also protects you from your own knife. Because if you could imagine, you don't have the copper element around the edge and you fall over, well, that knife could stab you and cause some damage. So it's there not only to protect you, but it's there to give rigidity to the sheath itself. And you know, it's been put in hot water, it's been shaped to the style, and then they've attached a strap and it hangs off your bolt. Rather than hanging under your bolt, it hangs down from your bolt, and I think that's a really nice touch. Well, let's just test to see how good this knife is. So I have some hazel, which I will be converting into some modern or some hazel clothes pegs like this for another video. I've never made any before. It's something I wanted to make. Now, to be fair, I've used this knife an awful lot and I've never sharpened it, so it could do with a sharpen. I think it will make a world of difference if I sharpened it. We'll just go along like this. I think we'll just put a bit of a chamfer on to this bit of hazel, just to prepare it for when I make it into a clothes peg. Because I'll tell you what, these clothes pegs are way better than modern ones. And then we'll shave off the bark from this side. Let's just compare it to a modern knife. See, this modern knife is a bit sharper, and we'll compare the two in a minute. If you don't put too much force into it, it seems to come off a little bit better. Because I'm making a mess of the table now. And again, we'll just put a chamfer on this bit of wood where I'm here. It's a really good carving knife. It's a really good eating knife. And it's really good for various other jobs. Carving your meat, cutting up your veg when you're on camp. You can use it as a modern craft knife. Yes, if I sharpened it, it will probably be much sharper and more easier to use. It's just tidy up the mess. So yes, I find that to be a fascinating knife. But let's compare it to this knife. And this is a Frosty made in Sweden. It's one of my many craft knives. This is probably more practical for carving and for doing woodwork, as you got a little bit of a guard for your hand first of all. It's got an ergonomic plastic handle, which is very typical these days. In fact, I'd love to get one of these knives and get rid of the handle and put a bone handle on and make it into a Viking knife, but you'll have to get rid of the engraving. You could even fundamentally put a cut in and make it into a broken back knife. But for this one, I've had for many years, and I never really wanted to do that. But both are very equal in, you know, what they can do and the quality. Yes, this knife, the Seax, has a much wider blade, as you can see there, and it's slightly longer as well. And also has a fuller or a blood groove. No, it is not there to make it easy to pull out of a body. It is there to lengthen or widen the blade in the process of the forging. So this is done whilst the blade is hot with a special tool. So it widens it, but it also compacts this area and adds more strength. And you can see, again, because I've used it, I've got a bit of the black tanning from the bark of the hazel. Again, I could make a more fancy sheath for it, or scabbard, depending how you class it. But I think if you think about it, this is probably nearly 30 years old, maybe 35. This knife has really done well. I think it's slightly crooked, but it might be me, only by a few millimeters, not much. But it feels great. Again, this feels great as well, because it's been designed to feel great. And then let's just talk about the langseax. So this langseax, let's put it in my other hand, again, was one of Thorolf's langseax, the first langseax I brought. This is a combat blade, so it's blunt for a reason, so that we can safely hit each other in our battle reenactment. And again, it has the ring and dot pattern. And this pattern, the ring and dot, is thousands of years old in design. It is done by a ring, and then they put a hole in the centre traditionally. And again, this could be a deer bone. This definitely a cow bone, but I can't determine that. It's either cow or deer. I can't remember what Thorolf said. And again, lovely item. It could do with a polish. You could definitely tell I've had it for a long time. It'll be nice to polish it back up and see it really shiny again. And the same with this one as well. So this is a more of an in-depth look, and I hope this comes across well on video. And I think I will record more videos like this, because it'll be interesting to look at some of the finer items that I have in my collection. What do you think? Which is your favourite out of those two knives? Let's ignore the langseax. Let's just look at these two wonderful knives. This is my favourite. And again, the bore associated with Mercia. So you could fundamentally say it's a Mercian Anglo-Saxon knife. But then again, you know, the Vikings also associated with the boar. Boars were wild all throughout Europe and were very fierce. You can see the tusk and the crest on the back. Fantastic little bit of art. In fact, this inspired me to paint a boar on one of my shields, and I copied it from this one. And I must say, I love these both to bits. Now, you could buy a langseax and cut it up and make it a knife out yourself, and you will probably out of a langseax and get a few knives, maybe 3. But it would be a bit of a waste. And can you buy a knife like this? Well, yes, fundamentally so. You could go to an Etsy manufacturer, take a photograph from the video and say, could you make a copy of this knife? And they'll probably make you one. It will probably cost you between £100 and £150, I'd say, to have somebody custom make you a knife like that. And again, this would be EM45 steel, so it's a spring steel. So it's one of the reasons why it's kept its edge for so many years. And I did literally use it an awful lot for, you know, on woodwork and various tasks. And also with it having a nice thick blade, you could also use it to knock into wood and to split wood if you ever needed to as well. It's you know, so you could use it to make kindling. There's so many jobs, but me personally, I find it more of an eating knife than anything else. But like I said, I have used it for a lot of crafts. So I hope this video has been valuable. This sheath or scabbard is made from a good quality veg tan leather. Again, it shows its age, so it's many years old as this knife construction, and maybe possibly even the langseax beforehand was even older than that. So this langseax could date back to the 1980s quite easily and could be well over 40 years old. Let's just put it in the sheath or scabbard. It fits well. That's such an important thing, because what you don't want is a loose fitting. If this is loose, you're going to lose it on camp. You're not careful. And this is one of the reasons why we do find, you know, langseax in field and seaxes, because they've been lost. They've thrown out the scabbard or sheath and they've been lost. Traditionally, scabbards are more associated with swords. Scabbards are always solid and normally have a wooden construction. So technically, this is a sheath. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it to be valuable. If you have, then please do give it a like. Thank you.